Hola beauties, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello, my name is Gurishq. So in today's video I'm here to help you all with a very common question. This is like a fire query question, a hot question, that is how to find your correct foundation shade and what is undertones, and like what do these all bloggers and makeup artists even mean when they say, you know, find your correct undertone. Additionally, I'll be teaching you all how you can find your correct foundation shade online as well as in store. So if that's something that interests you, then please keep on watching. Alright, so your skin type can majorly be categorized into 4 major categories, that is oily skin type, a normal skin type, dry skin type and sensitive skin type, right? However, definitely you can have a sensitive normal skin type, you can have oily 2 combination skin type and such combinations within these 4 departments. But when you're choosing a foundation, you have to, you know, take care of what skin type you belong to. So say if you have a dry to very dry skin, so you would like something that's more on the dewy side, that's more glowy and more hydrating on the skin. Whereas if you have oily to extremely oily skin, you would like something that's matte or like either very matte or at least semi matte, so your face does not go, you know, very shiny throughout the day or otherwise in the case of dry skin. So you got to take care of what skin type you belong and accordingly pick your foundation. Alright, so now let's talk about undertones. I mean, I know it's a tricky part for the layman consumer to, you know, really understand the undertones of the product, but I'll break it down into a couple of tests or whatever you want to call it that you can do. You can try and test out these methods to determine your undertone. So the very common and well known, I believe, method of determining your undertone is to check your veins and at your wrist area. You must have heard about it already some way or the other, I believe. Regardlessly, if you haven't, let me explain it to you all a little. So basically, if you have more of evidently green veins in your wrist, it means you are more likely to have a warm undertone, whereas if you have more evidently blue veins, you're likely to have a cooler undertone. And if you have a mix of green and blue veins, you are, congratulations, the neutral undertone. But also in neutral undertone, you can have warm neutral undertones and a cool neutral undertones. Similarly, I personally belong to the warm neutral undertone family. So basically, warm neutral means you have more of green veins as compared to the blue ones, and cool neutral means you have more of blue veins as compared to green ones. If you're still in dilemma about your undertones, second of all, you can also do a jewelry test to really get to know your undertones. So if more of silver jewelry suits your complexion and complements your skin tone, you're likely to belong to the cool undertone family. However, if you feel that gold jewelry complements your skin better, so you belong to the warm undertone family. And if both silver and golden jewelry suit you equally, then congratulations, you belong to the neutral undertone family. And lastly, if you're still confused about your undertone, I would try to recommend you the burn test. That's called You Don't Have to Burn Yourself, Honey, which means is that if you're more likely to catch a tan instead of a sunburn, then you're more likely to belong to the warm undertone family. Whereas if you're more likely to catch a sunburn and not really a tan, you're more likely to belong to the cool undertone family. So now that you must have determined your category or family of undertones, I'll also now let you know the color shades you can, you know, determine the undertone of the foundation from. So basically, cooler undertone foundations tend to have more of a pink or peach undertone to it, whereas the neutral undertone foundations tend to have an olive undertone to it, and likewise the warmer undertone foundations tend to have a warm yellow or golden undertone to it. Also, if you're shopping for a foundation online, you can refer to these foundation names and terms very closely to also understand the undertone of that foundation. So say if the foundation says ivory in the first name, like ivory beige or something with light ivory, for example, so it's more likely to fall in the cooler undertone category of things. Or say if it has words like cocoa and caramel in the very name of the foundation, then it is more likely to fall in the warmer category of things, and cocoa and caramel are usually warm, deeper shades of foundation. So yeah, however, I know this is not very reliable for getting your exact shade match, but if you're a beginner shopping for your foundation, you can, you know, just keep this little thing in mind to really get through the 30 or 40 shades of foundations, and at least, you know, get down to a minimum of 4 or 5 shades that you're confused with. But something a lot more reliable when it comes to getting your exact foundation shade match is an app or website called as Foundation.com. So you can basically go to Foundation.com, and if you know your MAC shade, and don't worry if you don't know your MAC shade, you can, like, you don't have to buy a MAC foundation to know your MAC shade. You can just walk into the MAC store and ask the professionals to tell you your MAC base shade, MAC shade basically. And MAC shade is basically like a universal foundation shade that you can use anywhere to really get down to your foundation in any brand pretty much. So the first option is to know your MAC shade so that you can find your foundation in pretty much any brand. But also with Foundation.com you get a multiple brand options to really find your correct foundation match. So even if you know your shade in Maybelline, for say I am a 230 natural buff in a Maybelline Fit Me foundation, so I will be so and so in another brand's foundation. The website helps you with that. So to get your correct foundation shade online in any brand, you have to preferably know either your MAC shade, or you can know your shade in any one brand's foundation. And via Foundation.com you can just go down there and write this is my shade in this foundation, and it will tell you a list of foundations and your shade. Like, it will determine what will be your shade in so and so brand's foundation. How cool is that? So Foundation.com comes very handy, and it has always got me some very close foundation shade matches. And lastly, if you feel that any blogger or YouTuber has a very similar shade to your skin tone, or shares a foundation shade with you in another brand, so it's very likely that they also, you know, they have the same complexion as you or the same undertone as you if they have a same shade in another foundation that you may have. So you can actually go by their shades. Like, what, for example, I am an NC30 in MAC and I am a 230 natural buff in a Maybelline Fit Me. So if your MAC shade is also NC30, then most probably 230 in a Fit Me will be your pick. So this way you can actually determine your foundation shade by either you see and you feel that the, you know, skin's complexion is very similar to yours, or you can match any of your foundation shade from that person's foundation. And yeah, so that's some of the ways to find online a foundation shade that's as close as possible to your skin tone. Right, so we seem sorted with the online foundation shopping. Now coming down to finding a right match when you're shopping in store for your foundation. So always test your foundation. It's at least what I prefer. Different people have different preferences, but definitely do not test your foundation on your wrist. That's pretty damn useless. My wrist is much lighter than my face and neck, and that is where I'm really going to put my foundation, over my face and, you know, buffing it down my neck. So that is where I believe the foundation should really match you. So what I prefer to do is, when testing in a store, I apply the foundation here, so at the end of your jaw, whatever you want to call it, around here on your jaw, and take it a little down my neck so that I can blend it out a little with my finger, so that I can see that if the foundation really matches my face and neck equally well or not. So all you're gonna do is, when you walk into such a beauty store or whatever makeup store, so just go to the professional that's there at the counter and tell the lady or the guy to suggest you firstly a couple of foundation shades that they think might suit you, and get a couple of them, like at least 3-4 of them, and which you think might suit your skin tone, and then swatch them one by one on the side of your jaw. Try and prefer not to wear makeup, like a full face of foundation already, so that you can see more clearly. Go with bare skin preferably when shopping for a foundation, and you can just swatch it and dab it lightly to see that which one comes as close to your original skin tone. With foundations, I don't know, sometimes, also don't mind me saying that, but at cheaper cosmetic stores, they always try to tell you a fairer shade or a lighter shade of foundation as your shade. I mean, I've seen that happening, like the people at the counter suggesting a lighter shade to be your exact shade. But please don't wear foundation to look fairer. Just wear foundation, I believe, to have more of an even skin and yeah, just conceal away the flaws and more of have an even base but in your existing skin tone. And yeah, pretty unnecessary, but I had to. Also, usually in beauty stores the lighting is either very stark or very warm. It's usually yellow or warm white lights in a store. So at the very first application you might not be able to tell that which foundation, or probably the 4 you swatched, goes exactly with your skin tone and your undertone. So what I would suggest is apply all the 4 foundation patches, just dab it slightly and move out of the store. Take a nice good walk in the mall and also maybe go out a little in the natural lighting. So basically what this will do is help you determine whether the foundation oxidizes on your skin or not. And if you're not aware of the concept of oxidization, so basically some foundations tend to become a shade or two darker while sitting on your face and oxidize a little. So you got to see if the foundation oxidizes on your face or not, if it's actually the correct undertone for you in natural lighting, because artificial lighting can, you know, manipulate the undertones of the foundation a little. So I would recommend you to check it in the natural lighting and actually let the foundation marinate on your face for, I mean, some time at least. I'm not saying like hours, but at least some time, to see how the foundation, you know, sits on your skin. And yeah, just like that you can just walk back in the store again and get the correct shade of foundation for you. So yeah, that's something that I personally do whenever shopping in from a store. So yeah, I hope that helps, and that has always helped me. Like, it will help, just go ahead and try it. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and guys, please let me know in the comments below if you really like it. And sharing is caring, yeah. Don't just keep all this knowledge all by yourself, all to yourself. Share it with your friends, share it with your follow base or whatever. Just share it with people and let others know as well how to get the correct foundation shades and not look like a little ghost there. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful. It was great talking to you all. See you in my next one. Goodbye.